So in one of our other videos, you said that, in Spanish, you said that if you were just recently graduated from college, that you would learn just a little bit is all you need to learn about AI and to go into these businesses that are not fully utilizing it and teach them how to utilize it. So with this being said, are you seeing a rise in interest in computer science or any related fields because of that?
Especially in artificial intelligence. Right now we have something like 2,000 students doing different AI courses at Miami-Dade College, and that is because there's definitely a high interest in applied AI. So the difference between research AI, doing all the deep, big math of building the new models, that's one thing. But applied AI is how do you use that? How do you use it in the day-to-day? How do you bring AI into a company in order to use a simple application? So this is the difference between, doing research in deep computer science versus, buying a laptop and teaching people how to use Word and Excel and that kind of thing. So there is a huge opportunity to add value, to improve productivity by applying AI in the companies today that the vast majority are not using it.
And I'm pretty sure they're, speaking to what we've previously said in Spanish in the other videos, that you said that Spanish-speaking countries, Latin countries, have the ability or the opportunity to change more rapidly than developed countries, United States.
Yeah.
But so then this leads to this question, in which I know we don't want to do too much future seeing here, but people are slow to change. Especially in
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to clarify a little bit, I'm not saying that necessarily Argentina is in a better position than the U.S. I'm just saying that
the way they're
some
run.
things that would disadvantages for some countries, which is, rapid change in the regulations or uncertainty in the political future, all of that helped them create a mentality of adapting quickly to change. And being quick to adapt to change is not exclusive of those countries. Like, it could happen in a whole lot of other countries as well, including here in the US. There's a lot of people who, because of the industry that they're in or whatever, had to adapt to change rapidly. Those kind of people that have practice in adapting to change quickly are better suited to an environment like the one that we're seeing now, where AI is very rapidly rolling out a whole lot of products and services that increase productivity for the firms quickly, and those early adopters will have great increases in productivity faster than their competition.
Right. So I guess we have really 4 different mindsets or different approaches in terms of AI. We have the American, the Latin American, and the European, and then the mostly Asia countries. Wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't divide it. I think if we're going to classify AI, I would go to the classification of research AI versus applied AI in the types of AI, and then I would talk about adoption, like people at individual levels or companies at the corporate level who are adopting AI faster, understanding what the tool is, getting their C-suite to understand how they can impact, and training all of their staff to adopting AI. We're going to see companies that are doing that already. The bigger companies already have a lot of that inbuilt into them, and it really doesn't matter if the company is from any area of the world. They're all more or less facing the same situation, and you will see companies from every area that are adapting and changing fast, and others that are not. So I don't think it's so much whether this company is from Latin America or from North America or whatever. I think it's more, is it the type of company that is going to adapt quickly to technological change or not? And those companies that are good at adapting technological change quickly are going to benefit the most and going to get the first mover advantage out of adapting that technology. The others, I think, eventually will catch up, but during that time, they will have a clear competitive advantage.
So is it? So it's you're saying it's more individualistic approaches with the different companies?
As far as applied AI is concerned, yes. So it's about the leadership, it's about the industry. For example, if you see companies like Amazon, they are adapting AI very quickly, very fast, because it's in their wheelhouse. That's what they do. And if I look to a similar company in Latin America, could be Mercado Libre, they're also adapting AI very well, very fast. They have been using AI for a long time, even before generative AI, when I was talking of machine learning and all the
Netflix
rest.
and
Yeah, so, Amazon had Alexa many years before we had generative AI. So these companies have already been using AI. They have adopted AI. They're using it in their warehouses and all of these places, with
how
their
are they using?
customers.
How are they using it in the warehouses?
Well, it depends on the company. They're all using it differently. But for example, Amazon has all these robots moving around their warehouses, doing pickings and moving, stocking things in warehouses. All of that is
Wow.
using AI,
Right.
and so and that is more related to machine learning, old school AI, than to generative AI.
Right.
And so, for a company that already has a whole lot of, PhD level scientists that working in AI in their company, and they have all this knowledge, adopting Gen AI is a bit less of a stretch.
Would you name any other companies that might have?
No, I'm just thinking it's more industry related, right? If you're more, tech savvy, then hopefully you would adopt it quicker.
Right.
Other companies may not be in, like, for example, again, across industries, you will have industries like farming that have the opportunity to apply AI, and you will find some companies that are using AI in farming for many years in order to monitor their fields, to improve the use of fertilization and crop dusting by reducing the amount of products that they throw into the field, because they do it better and they do it where really is needed by using AI to analyze the crops. So an industry that you would think of traditional, and you may have in the same industry people who are very advanced in using all these tools, and others that are not doing any of the sort. So again, there you've got a breakdown in an industry where the industry is not traditionally a high-tech industry, but that has some areas of high-tech that are already been using AI for many years.
So AI isn't new. It's the aspect of
AI has been around for 70 years or more. It depends how you start counting. But, since after the Second World War, we had a big boom of the first AI. We had Turing with the Turing test that you may have heard of, all that. Then after the 60s, between like the 70s and up to the 80s, there was a bit of a AI winter, it's called, where technology sort of cooled off a bit. And a lot of people thought that it wasn't possible to move forward with that. But then afterwards, we had all the neural network ideas. We had a boom in the technology. So we had GPUs and better processing power, so they could run bigger and bigger models and do more complex calculations. So all of that helped boom AI back. And as I said, all the computer vision, a whole lot of natural language processing, all of those areas of AI developed very strongly over the 90s and the aughts, before this last boom of Gen AI.
But there's definitely different approaches in the way each different country approaches AI. No, that's why I'm asking what exactly happened in Europe that Meta signed some treaty. No.
Yeah, so that is regulation, right?
Regulation.
Okay, and so you can have different approaches to regulation. You can be hands off and say let the companies do whatever they like, or you can be more regulatory. And again, I don't want to get into politics.
Well, I just want to
But
know
outside of politics, I'm just going to say, like, as a classification, You can be more or less regulated. And I don't think any of the two extremes are good. And I think you have to find a balance between both.
Right. And so that's what the accord was?
So big companies like Meta and Google, they need to work around the world. They need to comply with the regulations. If they want to be active in Europe, they need to comply with European. The same that a company that's overseas wants to operate in the US needs to comply with the US regulations.
Right.
So what you're seeing there is more a company that is a US company that wants to operate in Europe, and they have to comply with the European regulations.
And so Meta was the only one to comply?
No.
Okay.
Any company, all companies operating in Europe have to comply.
But some didn't comply, no? Or?
Look, again, you're bringing a political point. That is, a left versus right argument. And I don't want to get involved in left versus right arguments or political arguments. I'm just going to say that Europe makes their own laws. And if you want to operate in Europe, you must comply with European laws. And I can tell you for certain that all companies in Europe operate in Europe comply with European laws, or they get into trouble.
Okay.